Artificial intelligence. You hear that term everywhere, right? But what does it actually mean? Well, today, we're going to cut through all the sci-fi stuff and get right down to it. We're talking about the real foundations, where AI came from, what really makes it tick, and, why it's completely changing our world as we speak. Okay, let's just start with this one simple but honestly kind of profound question. What if a computer could think? Like you. I don't mean just crunching numbers. I mean really learning from experience, figuring out new problems on its own, and actually understanding the world around it. That one idea, that's the spark, the engine behind this entire field of artificial intelligence. So let's get a definition down. What is AI? Seriously, forget the killer robots from the movies. At its heart, AI is just, well, it's the mission to build machines that can do things that up until now have needed a human brain. The goal isn't always a walking, talking robot. It's about creating a system that thinks, kind of like we do. And believe it or not, this whole mission, it's not new at all. AI has had this wild up and down history, a total roller coaster ride, really. It started as this kind of distant academic idea, and now it's the absolute explosion we're all living through today. Okay, so the story really kicks off way back in 1950 with the Turing Test. This was the first big idea, a way to test if a machine could actually pass for a human. But the road from there was bumpy, to say the least. In the 70s and 80s, we hit what they call the AI winters. Basically, the ideas were huge, but the computers just weren't powerful enough. So progress stalled, funding dried up, things got pretty cold. But then, something happened. A bunch of things, actually. It was like a perfect storm of data, power, and clever new ideas all hitting at once, leading to the massive AI bloom we're in right now. And that's the big question, isn't it? Why now? What happened to unlock all this potential that was just sitting there for decades? Well, it wasn't just one thing. Think of it like a recipe that finally got all three of its key ingredients right. Ingredient number one, big data. I mean, just think about it. Every single second, we're creating these insane amounts of information. Texts, photos, videos. It's like building a giant global library for AI to read and learn from. Number two, sheer power. And this is the cool part. The powerful computer chips, the GPUs that were originally made for high-end video games, they turned out to be the absolute perfect engines for running these complex AI models. And finally, ingredient number three, smarter algorithms. Scientists came up with much better ways to teach the machines, especially with this thing called deep learning. It basically lets the AI spot really complex patterns in all that data we've been feeding it. Okay, so we've got the fuel, the data, and we've got the engine, the computers. But where are we actually trying to go with all this? What's the end game? What are researchers really trying to achieve with all this incredible power? Well, it really breaks down into a few key human-like skills. We're trying to teach AI how to reason and solve tricky problems. Like mastering a board game that has more possible moves than there are atoms in the universe. No big deal, right? We're also teaching it to plan and get around in the real world, which is obviously super important for stuff like self-driving cars. And maybe most importantly, we're teaching it perception, the ability to see and hear the world around it, not just read a spreadsheet about it. And this right here, this is the real game changer. This is what makes today's AI so different. See, we've moved on from the old way of trying to hard code a rule for every single thing that could possibly happen. That's impossible. Instead, we're building systems that learn from examples. They find the patterns all by themselves, and over time, just get smarter and smarter on their own. Let's dig into that whole perception thing for a second, because it's really cool. It basically splits into two amazing fields. First, you've got computer vision. That's all about teaching computers how to see and make sense of images and videos. Think about how your phone automatically sorts your photos by people or places. That's computer vision at work. Then, on the other side, you've got natural language processing, or NLP. And that's all about teaching computers to understand our language, both written and spoken. It's literally the magic that lets you talk to your smart assistant. All right, so we've walked through the big ideas, the history, the why now. But understanding all this stuff is one thing. What if you want to be one of the people who actually builds these incredible tools? This is that moment, right? The point where you can choose to go from just watching the AI revolution happen to actually being a part of it. The moment you move from theory to real, hands-on practice.
And for anyone out there who's feeling that pull, who's ready to take that next step, there's actually a fantastic opportunity I wanted to tell you about. The Skill Development Center, right there at the University of the Punjab's Quaid-e-Azam campus, is offering a special short course on AI. It's designed to do exactly that, get you started.
And look, this isn't just about sitting in a lecture hall. It's really designed to let you get your hands dirty. We're talking on-campus classes, so it's a really immersive experience. You get to work with actual AI tools, not just read about them in a book. You'll have expert faculty guiding you directly. And maybe the best part, you'll actually get the chance to build your own projects, to take what you're learning and create something brand new with it. So I want to leave you with a question. Now that you know the basics, the ingredients, the goals, just think about it for a second. What problem would you teach an AI to solve? What's a challenge out there in the world that you think this technology could finally help us tackle? Because honestly, the tools to start building that future, they're more accessible right now than they have ever been before.